Morning, Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Crazy. This has just been crazy. This has been a crazy week.
We are at risk of losing our favorite dining establishments. The Gingered Peach sells a cinnamon roll for $3.25. If we are perfect, my profit is 28 cents on that cinnamon roll. That is not enough for us to have prepared for a day like this. I used to be a full-time member on our bake team. I was actually like the baker. Now I employ 23 people.
Okay, it's Saturday morning and it's total Gingered Peach Girl Squad vibes. What's this? Nice.
So for the most part over the last year, it's been half baking. The other half was running the behind the scenes of the Gingered Peach, hiring, employing, training, growing that staff, and then at the same time working on, what our next move was. I felt like it all happened so fast. Our pivot had to happen so quickly. Through my fellowship with the Beard Foundation, I've been connected to a lot of really amazing female restaurateurs and entrepreneurs, and we have a private group. And we kind of chat about what was going on behind the scenes in our industry, how we all were reacting, what our different plans were in play. And one person had put out kind of what her flow plan was for what she was going to do. And I was able to look at that. And then I created basically a 5-phase plan of how we would evolve as the situation evolved. And it went from, we see a cut in business of 25%, this is going to happen. When we see a cut in business of 40%, this is going to happen. When we see them start to close the schools and potential quarantine or lockdown, this is what will happen. And we went from phase 1 to phase 4 in 48 hours. And it quickly escalated into that 4-phase plan until we got to the point where it was like, it's time to shut down.
It's a sign that we left on the door for the customers, so they know we're closed.
So I officially laid off my entire staff last week. Yeah. Once I made the decision, the whole delivery / pickup solution is a stopgap. Even if we remained open in that capacity, I would have had to let go of at least half of my staff. It was just going to buy us time. But it also, in my opinion, to stay open was sending the wrong message and putting them at risk, right? I didn't want to knowingly schedule someone to come in and work and interact with the public when we were so unsure of how quickly this was spreading. And, the decision became easy once it was made, we were all made aware that there were confirmed cases in Lawrenceville, like in our town. Then I was like, okay, that's it. So at this point, I've laid off my entire staff. I say they're furloughed because I do hope that one day this will all be over and they can all come back. And that is what I wrote in their email that I sent them announcing what was happening, that their jobs will be waiting for them, but who knows when that will be. I'm very fortunate that I'm married and my husband is an engineer, he works for the defense industry. So he's considered essential. I was watching the situation unfold and I stopped taking a paycheck about 6 weeks ago. We're a single member LLC, so it's not like I pull a salary. All I'm allowed to do is pull profit. And owners of small businesses, I can't apply for unemployment, even though I pay into it. I can't, that's not an option for me. So I shifted in the sense of, I guess, let me try to protect the business so that we have something to come back to. And I threw whatever extra money there was to help keep my employees afloat, to make sure that all of our bills that we had were paid off, which they are, thank goodness, to get right with all of our distributors and say, here's your money, because I know you're probably suffering too. So here's your money. I sold the product, let's get it done. And now I pretty much just have a blank slate and I have to decide what's left. The saddest part about this is for 5 years, I've been saving for our expansion. And now I've had to, I don't know how long that's going to be on hold. I don't know. But I started using that money so I could pay my employees for an additional week that they didn't work, and also just keep the lights on while we waited for all of this to blow over.
Normally at this time of day, there would be probably 8 or 9 employees working back here to prepare for tomorrow. And as you can see, it's just completely empty at this point. All of these speed racks would be filled with product, croissants, cinnamon buns, cookies, whatever it is. And now it's just quiet.
I've prepared, there's safety money for this. I'm scared that that won't be enough and we won't make it. And that 23 people will be out of a job. And that as cautious and conservative in my spending and saving as I was for 5 years will mean nothing. That's my biggest concern. But the town of Lawrenceville has rallied behind us. And I think that if we call for help, they may be there. So I just keep my fingers crossed that is what happens. But, I would say the greatest fear is that, I don't want anyone to get sick. But from the business perspective, that we don't make it to the other side, which is why we need help. So the 2 ways that you can help us is, one, visiting saverestaurants.co. That is put together by a group of people in our industry that are fighting for us to be recognized on the Hill so that we can get the help that we need. And then the other is the James Beard Foundation has a food and beverage industry relief fund that they have started kind of soliciting donations for to help all of us stay afloat. If you feel helpless and you want to help, that's how you can help. All right. Bye.